All right, now is the time in the evening, which is where I can get to relax and sort of sit back and be a participant in this. And this is because we have someone by the likes of Julia, who is going to be talking to us tonight about how to find more clients and how to convert, or how to get more leads and how to convert more clients. So you've got a couple of interesting things there that Julia had sort of shot through to me before today, and that is that the average entrepreneur in Australia and New Zealand takes home less than $100,000 a year. So that's less than the an income if you're working for someone else for for a lot of people. So why would you work for less than 100,000 if you're an entrepreneur? That's the reality of it. In fact, I heard another statistic too, is that the many business owners take home less than what people on Centrelink earn when you calculate it out as an hourly rate. So you think about the time that you spend in business, calculate it out as an hourly rate. For some people, they would be better off spending the day on the beach and just drawing something off Centrelink. But we all know it's not all about the money, but tonight it is all about the money. It's about how can you actually sort of make a whole lot more and enjoy the journey, and for it to be a lot more fun as well too. So, and it is about your financial dreams, your financial freedoms. And we do have Julia here tonight. And she's not an ordinary sales coach. She is a sales coach, but she's not an ordinary one because she teaches people not how to sell. So she's got I come from the timeshare side of being taught how to sell. I was taught by some wide boys that came from Australia to New Zealand. I think they came from the Gold Coast to New Zealand, and they taught us how to sell superannuation to the unsuspecting public using timeshare techniques, very high pressure techniques. Our closing rates were great, but also our cancellations were really high as well too. So those techniques tend not to work so well today, and Julia has really got a whole modern take on this that really does work well. It's authentic, it is conversational, and it is proven to do things like double your sales, help you to get more of your ideal clients, and really help you to achieve your financial goals and what it is that you want in business. So I would love you to join me tonight in giving a big warm welcome to Julia Zielke.
Thanks, Nick. What an awesome introduction. I wish I could do it that well. Does anyone else feel like you could sell other people's products or services so much easier than you can sell your own, right? That was one of the biggest challenges that I think I had when I made the leap from my, 13 years in pharmaceutical selling and 20 years in total of sales, is that I really had to shift my mindset from selling someone else's products and services to selling myself. And, give me any of your businesses and I can make you whatever you want in a few days. I find it really easy, but I found it really challenging having to really shift that mindset. But thanks so much for that introduction, Nick. And I love some of those tools that you shared with us. And in fact, they're going to tie nicely into some of the things that I'll show you guys tonight around how I find leads. Because one of the pieces that I find a little bit clunky is often finding people's, not so much their email addresses. I find email addresses really quite easy, but finding phone numbers can be a little bit more challenging. Can I get a quick show of hands? Who here is a service-based business? Who's a service-based business? Yep, I've got some service. Just going to flick through my pages. Yeah, cool. And what about product? So I'm guessing everyone else is product-based businesses. Yep, awesome. And so my next question also, what about direct to consumer? Who sells direct to consumer versus business to business? Any direct to consumers? Yep, a couple of direct to consumers. Yep, and what about B2B? Is everyone else B2B? Yep. Awesome, cool. Okay, so look, the strategies that I teach you today can absolutely work in both spaces. The challenge is you're going to have to think a little bit laterally about how you find people. So I work very much as a service provider in the business to business space, but I absolutely have clients who are product-based businesses and they sell directly to consumers, but we've also helped them to restructure their business so they can sell in a business to business space as well. So they can take their products to a wholesale market. But what I'm going to do is try to be really clever. And Nick has shared a tip with me on how I can share two screens with you. So let me see a thumbs up if you can see my screen share. Are we good? Beautiful. Awesome. All right. So my goal tonight is to help you to find more leads and to convert more clients. So can I also ask you in the chat, who here has made a cold call before? Can you let me know in the chat if you have made a cold call? Yes, I've got one person. 1, 2, 3, lots. Brendan, got on you. 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I've got about 7 people who've made a cold call. Oh, hundreds, Ray, good on you. Hate them, Paul. Yeah, I do get that a lot. Diane, awesome. Brilliant. All right, mildly warm ones. Yes, I like the warm calls too. I like the hot ones too. So also tell me in the chat then, for those of you who haven't made a cold call before, how do you feel about them right now? Tell me how you feel about making cold calls. Uncomfortable, yep. Me don't like cold calls, yep. Steve, you don't like them? Good. If you have a game plan and a script, yes, good. Not the best of use of my time, somewhat comfortable. Paul, that's awesome. I'm not going to have you bleeding out in a dark alley, my friends. I'd rather wet my pants, Nick. I feel cold about them. That's hilarious. All right, I asked you that. What was that?
Nick and I are together on that.
You are together on that. You are. So look, I am going to go over a strategy with you guys tonight that I use for cold calling. Now, I'm not going to tell you that in our session tonight, I can help you to get 100% comfortable with cold calling. I did do a live in my Facebook group today, a training on trying to help people to feel a little bit more comfortable when it comes to calling. And if we've got time at the end of our session, I would love to be able to cover that with you because, of course, I'm not just a sales coach, I'm also a mindset coach. So I use neuroscience, brain-based coaching techniques to help people to move through some of their mindset blocks. Because the truth is, as a sales coach, I can teach you every one of the million strategies that I was taught on how to sell over 20 years. But the truth is, if your head doesn't want to do it, guess what? You're not going to do it. Right? So if you're still feeling uncomfortable, cold, you'd rather wet your pants or bleed out in a dark alley, I can tell you now, you're not going to be doing the strategies that I teach you. So for me, that's why it's really important that I combine both of these. All right, so a bit of an agenda. So I'm going to show you how to find thousands of leads using social media. You can either DIY it and you can find them for free, or I use a paid automated system that costs me $97 a month, and I love it. I'll show you through that system. And then I'm going to give you a cold calling script that I really usually only give my clients, but it's a script that really helped me feel more comfortable when it came to cold calling and selling myself, because I had made hundreds of cold calls as a sales rep, but when it came to selling myself, I really freaked out. And when I very first started my business, I invested quite heavily in a sales coach because I truly believe in investing in people who are above me. And it was a sales coach who had about 15 years more experience than I did. And I wanted her as a mentor as well as a coach. And she taught me this strategy that absolutely worked for me. So first thing you need to know is my purpose. So my purpose in life is absolutely to empower you to do what you love. And I do that so that we can both make a difference in the lives of other people. And for me, empowering people to do what they love, I just, I think like Nick was saying before, like we were talking about the money, and, I find it really fascinating that people do earn less than, what you can get on Centrelink, and yet they keep doing they stay in their business. And the truth is there, you can really feel it, can't you? That those people love what they do and they're doing it for the passion. They're clearly not doing it for the money. But my purpose is really to help people to keep doing what they love. And part of that process is making sure that the money is coming on board, because it's all about profit and purpose. And we need that profit to be able to fuel our purpose. And what I do know is that when we're all doing what we love, is that we do make a difference in the lives of other people. So that's why I'm on the planet. And here is my brag for you. This is about the only thing that I'm really bloody good at, is snow skiing. And I wanted to show you this photo, and you can probably see in the background here is one of my skis. And I am wearing a ski jacket at the moment because I'm freezing, living in Queensland, not coping with the cold. But what I would love you guys to do, if anyone wants to unmute and share with us, is something that you do for fun, and what is your number one challenge in business right now? And we can probably make that, what's your number one challenge when it comes to sales right now? Does anyone want to unmute and let us know?
Lead generation.
Lead gen, awesome. Well, we're talking about that tonight, so that's good. And what's something you do for fun?
I don't have time for fun.
No!
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that. So as a sales and mindset coach, this is something I'm really particular on, is that we have a really great balance. And there's a reason for that. The reason is that if we don't have a good balance between spending time in our business and allowing our brain to relax, to settle, to get away, that's when all of our great ideas and our creativity come in. So my challenge for you tonight might be to find something you love doing and find the time to do it.
Will do.
Anyone else want to share with us?
Yeah, I'm happy to share.
Thanks.
I love body surfing. It's one of the funnest things I love to do. And ukulele, I'm getting back into playing the ukulele again.
Ah, amazing.
Yeah, I love that for fun. And singing and dancing, of course. I did Zumba the other day. That was a heap of fun. So yeah, I do lots of things for fun. Number one challenge in business is scaling and systems. Well, actually that's two, but probably, well, they kind of go hand in hand.
They do go hand in hand. And thank you so much for sharing that, because it's one of the biggest challenges that I see with a lot of my clients, is that they want all the sales coming in, but they don't have the systems to be able to cope with it. So it's really important to be able to make sure you've got those systems in place so that when you bring the sales in, you're ready for it and you don't end up overwhelmed and not doing the things that you enjoy doing. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to share with us?
I'll share. It's Steve.
Hello, thank you. I can't quite see everyone in the screen view I've got, so thank you.
I'm black anyway, my camera's not working.
Oh, okay.
I'm having problems with DMs, marketing in the DMs, selling to people, and that fine line between how much of a conversation you have before you get ghosted, or, you know, being too salesy in there. Because what I find is you'll start a conversation and it seems to be whoever pitches first wins out, because if you go to re-pitch after that, they ghost you and disappear because you haven't bought what they wanted.
Yes. Yeah, I'm hearing that challenge. And look, I'm happy to share with you some of the things that I have been doing in the DMs. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not a space that, as a professional sales rep, that I ever worked in, because everything I did was face-to-face sales. But I certainly do have a strategy, and it's something that I'm tweaking every single day to work out, you know, what's going to work. So we can talk a bit about that. And how about, what do you do for fun?
I actually just go down to the beach. I live up in Harvey Bay, so I've got miles of beach with hardly anyone on it, so I can just hang out and chill and thinking time. And
Unreal. I love that. It's so nice. And there's something about the beach and the ocean, right? It just, I don't know, calming, refreshing. I learned how to surf, and I always say this because I learned how to surf about 20 years ago, which would be nice if you could think that I would be a good surfer after 20 years, but I'm absolutely terrible at it, but I love doing it. So it's one of those things that I keep on my list, and I like it as a bit of a lesson of, you know, proof that we don't have to be good at everything that we enjoy doing, right?
true.
It's so good to hear that you are getting out to the beach.
Yeah.
Paul, go for it.
Yeah. I don't know about so much being fun, but as a way of finding peace and relaxation, I get out in the garden and I cut things and I pot them and I dig my hands around in dirt.
I love it.
And I create more living things out of other living things.
Amazing. Paul, do you know what the thing is? The word I really heard there that I love is the create. So part of neuroscience, we know that when you are in that creative mode, that's when your brain starts to build new neural pathways, because you start thinking about things in a different way. How can I create this? How can I create that? What am I going to do next? So that's why I say to you guys, having that piece of fun or having that opportunity to just get out and disconnect is such a good exercise for your brain. Amazing. And so what's your number one challenge when it comes to sales and selling?
Lead generation. And
lead generation. Yep. Yeah.
It always is.
Yeah, awesome. All right, cool. Well, hopefully I can help some of you guys with the lead generation tonight and show you through some of the little tools that I use. So I thought I'd just share with you a little bit about me, if that's okay, just so you kind of know where I'm coming from. So as I mentioned, I've spent the last 13 years in the pharmaceutical industry. So I worked for a company called Johnson & Johnson, which some of you guys might know or may have heard of. Their pharmaceutical arm is called Janssen here in Australia. And so I sold medication to GPs, to specialists. And then I worked for a company called Ego Pharmaceuticals, which is a beautiful Australian company. They've been around for about 60 years and they manufacture QV creams and washes. So in that role, I worked a lot with dermatologists. So lots of building relationships, lots of cold calling, lots of direct selling. My background is I've got a Bachelor of Business, a Bachelor of Science. My science is actually sports science though, so don't mistake me for a science geek. I'm a sports scientist. I have my neuroscience brain-based coaching qualification. And as I said, I've spent 20 years in the sales and selling space. I worked for News Limited for a while, which was interesting to say the least. But definitely the pharma was the funnest area. So here are some of the challenges I think that we face as entrepreneurs is that our opportunities and I guess, our choices are really limitless. So there's a million courses that we can do online. There's 2 million people to compare ourselves to. There's 3 million people doing the same thing that we're doing. And there's 4 million people who are telling us that we must focus on this area to have a successful business. Does everyone agree? Yep, some of the challenges that we face, right? So you've got all the options of online, offline, networking, coaching groups, marketing, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, emails. Oh my goodness, it gets overwhelming. And unfortunately, what it ends up in is just confusion. So, where do we focus and what is actually going to get us the results? And for me, when I say results, I say sales, because sales are the oxygen of business. And truly, this is what we need, is we need to be bringing the sales on board so that we can then choose where we're going to spend our money. So I want you to know the truth is I had none of those when I signed my first client. And it was a $20,000 client. I literally didn't even have a business name. I did my proposal on a Word document with nothing. So I had no coach, I had no website, no business name, no Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and oops, flew past that. 4 years later, I still work with this same client and I've doubled the work that I do with them. And I actually just completed their content for a full group training that I do with over 100 of their staff. So I tell you this story because I want you to know that while there are so many different options out there for us to focus on, the truth is when you know how to sell, you don't really need all of them. And I'm not saying that you don't need them somewhere down the line, you can call me biased as a sales rep, but I believe that the first place is learning how to sell. So I guess this is kind of the other reasons is that there's no use in having a great website or thousands of followers if you don't know how to convert them into a sale. So I often hear from people who tell me, and I literally had someone the other day who said to me that she had 65,000 views on her TikTok and not a single sale. So sometimes that, the followers and the views that we get doesn't always result in a sale. And I have this theory that if humans can get a virus, a computer might be able to get a virus too. So I want to make sure that all of my clients are really comfortable with how they're going to do business if they have to take it offline. And that's something that we're going to work on today. And of course, once you know how to sell, then you get to choose which one of those marketing areas that you're going to focus on. And a bit like Nick said earlier is, you know, the marketing is the fun piece because we don't have to talk to anyone, but it's not going to get you anywhere if you're not talking to anyone. So I made just over 170,000 in my first 12 months in business. My website is still under construction. So don't go and have a look at it. You probably can. It's getting there now. I haven't spent any money on ads, but I did spend $30,000 on coaching. And that was probably the scariest decision of my life. I spent that money in the first month in business. So before I made any money at all, I spent a ton of money on coaching, but I'm a coach and I truly believe in the benefits of coaching. And I truly believe that coaching is the best way to fast track your success. And, you know, I have to say that's how I made the money, which replaced my corporate income, which was really my goal for my first 12 months. But now my goal is, and I've set up the business and the systems to scale it to over $1 million. So my coaching was a pretty good return on investment. So in my opinion, I think number one, we have to learn how to sell. I think number two, it's always improving your customer experience. And it's something that I work really hard on, is improving that customer experience. And then I think number three is learning how to market. And, you know, for me, one of my first coaches, so I had two coaches, as I said to you, one of them was a sales coach because I wanted a mentor and someone who was better than me that I could look up to and I could use to improve. But the other coach was a marketing coach. And it was someone to help me with the marketing systems, because as a sales rep, we don't learn how to market. We learn how to sell to people. So tell me in the chat, why do you think selling is a lifelong solution and not a quick fix? Oh, Michael, I just saw you have a bachelor in zoology. That's really cool. Yes, Jody, you want repeat business, 100%.
And if you can get a long life customer, then it doesn't become the quick fix.
Yes, right,
And
absolutely. So, you know, it costs 5 times more to find a new customer than it does to retain an existing customer. So a huge part of the work that I do is how do we retain those existing customers and how do we go above and beyond for them? Yes, that's so true, Jenny, because you can do it no matter what business you go into. That's the thing. It's a transferable skill. I've sold everything from furniture, knockdown IKEA style furniture, to advertising space in a newspaper, to gym memberships, to prescription medication, to medical devices, and now selling myself in the business. So no matter what you do, you take these skills with you. They don't chop and change. It's not like every online amazing platform. Selling skills don't change over time. Yeah, unless we go live on a remote island. Yeah, we unfortunately need money to live unless we go like live on a remote island, which does sound really nice. I like that, Jane. Absolutely. Yeah. So look, in my opinion, learning how to sell is a lifelong, it's a really lifelong solution for business. And as I said to you guys before, I think it's really the oxygen of business is learning how to sell. So here are some of the things that really come with learning how to sell. It's that confidence and assertiveness. It's the opening, closing, clarifying questions. It's need analysis. It's overcoming objections. It's evolving our customer experience. It's increasing our basket size. I'm sorry if you can hear our beautiful Air Force over the top. It's value adds, it's promotional selling, it's follow-up strategies, it's cold calling, it's converting clients, it's markups and profit margins, and it's opportunity analysis. So there's lots of different things that are involved in the skill, if you like, of selling. But for me, I also like to include the mindset. And as I said to you, I think that the mindset is such an important space when it comes to sales and selling, because I can teach you all of those strategies, but the truth is you won't go and do them if we haven't got the mindset right. So we need the confidence and the assertiveness. We need to understand our limiting beliefs. We need to have ridiculously clear goal setting. I don't know about any of you guys, but certainly as an entrepreneur, I love chasing shiny objects. So one of the things that I'm really passionate about is our clear goal setting. And I don't know if you can see it in the background, but there's a t-shirt up here that says sold out. And that's one of my, what I call sticky goals. So it sticks in my mind. We look at emotional regulation, healthy mind platter, which comes into the fun piece, as we said before, personality types, growth mindset, self-directed learning, sales mindsets, lots of different things that are included in that mindset space, if you like. All right, so let's get into the nitty gritty of this. Let's have a look at how we're going to find lots of leads. So what I was really hoping is I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Or can I switch? Nick, how do I switch? What if I escape from here, do I? Oh, yeah, I can escape and I can jump over to here and I can jump into here. Cool. Okay, so this is the artificial intelligence that I wanted to share with you. And what you can see here on the left-hand side is my messenger probably looks a little bit different to yours. So on the left-hand side, you can see all of these are what we call tags. So everyone who comes into my messenger box is tagged. And what it means when they're tagged is that I can group people and I can send messages out to groups of people. I can tag them as follow-ups. So I don't know about you guys, but I get a lot of people coming into my messenger and I'll show you how I do that. So when they do come in here, I want to make sure that I can tag everyone so I know what I'm doing with them. So here is a cool way that we find leads using this system. Is anyone familiar with the platform or with the Facebook group called Like-Minded Bitches Drinking Wine? It's good, right? It's a good one. Some women might be familiar with it. But the truth is you can use any Facebook group you like, right? Facebook groups are a really great way to find connections. This is just one that I love using because it's generally all female business owners and they're all on a similar path. We're a little bit like-minded that we like a glass of wine. And as you can see here, there's 164,000 members in this group. So what my artificial intelligence does, when I click over here into members, you can see here, this is my artificial intelligence that kind of sits at the top of it. So what it's going to do is it's going to automatically send out friend requests for me. So what I'm going to do is I select in here, let's go with members with friends in common, members with things in common. I put a tag on it and I've created these tags over in the back end of the artificial intelligence. So my LMBW is my like-minded bitches drinking wine. Now I might be a bit selective here and I might just say coaches. But I could also say CEO. I could say director. Helps if I can spell. So what this is going to do is it's going to find people in this group where we have things in common who have in their title, they have coaches, CEO or director. So can you see I'm getting really targeted about who I'm starting to contact in here. The nice thing about this, you can set it up to send out as many requests as you want. So I send out usually between 5 and 10, and I do it twice a day. So I'm inviting about 20 people every day to come into my personal Facebook group. This will also send it out in 10 to 25 second intervals. Now, the reason for that is so that Facebook doesn't pick it up as being a bot and disable your account. So the 10 to 25 second intervals just makes it look a little bit random. And then all we need to do is click start. I'm not going to click it because it won't work if I flick between screens. It likes you to stay on here. But what I thought I would show you is, so the piece when it clicks start is that what I've set up in the background is that I've set up automated messages that it sends out to people. So it will send an automated message out saying, hey, Jane, I see we're both in Like-Minded Bitches Drinking Wine and we've got some really great connections in common. I love connecting with other business owners. How long have you been in business for? Right, so I might send a bit of an introductory message to start to get that conversation evolving. Now, how you advance that conversation is entirely up to you, and how direct you are with that conversation is entirely up to you. I have used this strategy for a little while around trying to be gentle with the conversation. And I can't remember who it was who said to me before that they find this DMing a little bit challenging. So I've done it before where we're really gentle, and what I might do is just say to them, hey, listen, I'm not sure if this is any interest to you. I just created a brand new PDF on 10 ways to double your sales. Are you interested? So once they come back and they say they're interested, of course, I can send them to the link that I grab their email address and they're into my database. But then I also will come back over here and I'll now tag them, for example, as a follow-up. So I might tag this as someone who I need to follow up. And then what I can do here is I can hit a filter and I can tag it by my follow-ups. Click OK. And this is going to quickly go about finding all of those people that I've tagged as that I need to follow up. Yeah, does that make sense? So basically what it does is allows your messenger to become a bit like a, I don't know, a bit like your email system, you know, if you've got a good email system of things set up. Does anyone have any questions for me around that? I know I've covered a little bit of techie stuff there. I'm happy to help you as much as I can. I'm still learning the system, but yeah, what are your thoughts? Any questions? Jeff, can you write down your own check and work when you want and where you want? Oh, whoops, am I looking at the right thing? Ah, Fred, you're using it as well. Awesome. Does it have to be based on a group? So, Jody, you have to use it from your personal profile is the first thing to say, is that it has to come from your personal profile. Does it have to be a group? No. I have seen people who have used it, they're a bit sneaky, and they use it when they see someone. So for example, someone like Tony Robbins might be in my field of, you know, business owners. When he does a sponsored post and he might get, I don't know, 300 people commenting on his posts, you can actually use it to go through the people who are on the post. So it doesn't have to be just from a Facebook group. But remember, Facebook groups are a really good way to find your clients. So there are so many of them out there, and I can show you, you know, some of the ones that I'm in, which is the Brisbane Girls in Business, Ladies Startup Lounge. This is a local one that I use. So there's lots of different groups that you can use to start to connect with people if you like. Awesome. All right. So that's how I do it if I am doing it with my paid system. But of course, I was also able to do it for free when I first started. So when I needed to do it for free, I did it in a similar way. So what I would do, let's just pick one of these groups. So we can pick Brisbane Girls in Business. You can see that there's 7,400 members in here. I would do the same thing. I would click into members. So of course my AI is probably going to come up, yep, at the top of this. But if you're not using AI, all you need to do is scroll down, and I might scroll down and see Facebook already tells me members with things in common. So I might click on members with things in common, and let's see how many of them are here that I can start to add as a friend. Right, so now I can start to go through and add these people as friends. And what my virtual assistant and I would do is we would manually send everyone who accepts our friend request, we would manually send them a little message. All right, so we're manually going through and we're sending them a message. Now, the next step that we take here is that we actually invite everyone. Has everyone here got a Facebook group? Yes or no? Hands up. Yeah, we've got some Facebook groups. Yeah, some have got Facebook groups, some, yep, some haven't. So Facebook groups are a really nice way, regardless of what you sell, whether it's a product or a service, it's a really nice way to create a community of like-minded people. And then once you've got people into a Facebook group, you have the opportunity to kind of do what you want, and you've got a bit of free reign in that space. So what we will do is we'll actually, so I'll show you my Facebook group, which is Selling Strategies for Ambitious Entrepreneurs. Feel free to jump over and join there if you want to. So what we will do is we'll click on this invite button and we'll say invite Facebook friends. So all of those new friends that we've just acquired through whichever one of the Facebook groups we've gone and friend requested, we'll pop in here and we'll now send an invite to all of the people who've become our new friends. And we just invite them to come over to the group. Now, do they all come over? Of course not. But we have managed to grow this group to 1,000 members in, when did I start it? Maybe in November last year. So it's starting to get some really nice growth. And then of course in here, I have the opportunity that I can, I'm just going to scroll down and see if you can see one. Yeah, so I run a live Facebook training in here. And I can advertise all of my events in here for free as well. So the other way I wanted to show you to find leads, if you are more in the business to business space, is LinkedIn is a really nice one. So remembering in LinkedIn, you can just use their search bar over here, and you might just write, what if we do, I'm a coach, so I want to see other coaches in, oh, there we go, I've done a search, a coach in Brisbane. So this will show me about 5,000 results. Right, so there's about 5,000 leads there of people that I can now go and contact. Now, the beauty of LinkedIn, and you might use this in conjunction with Nick's tool, is that you can usually find contact details quite easily. Now, I had a bit of a play around with this before. Let's see who might look like a good contact. My tip for connecting with people on here too is not to send a personal message. I just send the request. And that's just from my own experience. I find that people are more likely to connect if you don't send a message. So let's see if we can have a look. Executive business coach, Greg. Let's see, how about Donna? So what I might do is I jump in here. I have a quick look at her contact details. Donna is probably not going to give me her phone number here, but she has given me a website. So we might be able to click on a website and let's see if we can find our contact. Some people will put their phone numbers in and some won't. Aha, there you go. So we've found a phone number. So now all of a sudden I can use my cold calling strategy and I can give her a quick call and just see if she'd like to do business. So you've got opportunities there. You've got an email address, you've got her mobile number, and of course you can still send her a message through LinkedIn as well. Any questions for me? Is that all pretty straightforward? Is anyone using those strategies already? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, wonder. I put a question in the chat there. Having a group for yourself, so it's you're talking about on Facebook as a group for on your personal page, or the old wall as it used to be called.
Yeah.
Advantages or disadvantages of that compared to having your business page when you invite people to like your page.
Yeah,
so,
really?
So you're inviting them into a group that's just all about Paul Sheaf.
Yeah. So, okay. So let me show you. I want to flick back to my Facebook group for a second to show you. For me, the real difference, and like Nick, you might be able to chime in on this too, but for me, the real difference is that the Facebook group is your opportunity to really engage with people, whereas on a Facebook page or your business page, it's a little bit harder to do that more personal engagement with people because it's really just what you post. So if I show you, for example, sorry, that's my puppy dog going crazy at something.
Okay.
I'm just trying to throw an arrow out of this. Okay, can you see this screen? Are you in my Facebook group now?
Yeah.
You are? Yeah, okay. So have a look at this. So some of the hashtag days I have in here is I have a promote day. So I allow people to promote in this page. And what that does is that it then brings people in because number one, they're looking for tips and strategies. So I give them lots of sales tips and strategies, but they also have an opportunity to promote their own business and build a relationship with people who are in the group. So we do lots of welcome things. So there you go. You can see that we're doing that promote yourself day. Today was a lot of promotion. That was a live training that I did today. So you can see that we're kind of starting to get a fair bit of engagement here. And to me, that's probably the biggest difference is that you have an opportunity to really nurture the people who are in this group, where the business page, I don't know that you get so much opportunity, and correct me if you do nurture in that space. Yeah, Nick, what are your thoughts on the Facebook group versus the business page?
Yeah, there is one really good distinction on it, and that's what Facebook does with it. I was just looking at this today, and a Facebook page is a pay to play community. So, well, they're not a community, it's just pay to play. So you've got people there that like it, but really, if you want to get the reach in a page, you might get 3 to 5% of people that like the page will actually see the posts that are in there. If you want it to go out further, then you've actually got to run ads and pay for it. Whereas a group, it used to be, it's not quite this now, but you will get far more reach with it because this is Facebook going back to its core and creating communities. So they do that in the group, not the feed. And so your content gets seen by a lot more people in a group than you ever would in a page. You can't advertise in a group, or you can't use Google ads. Sorry, not Google ads, Facebook ads in a group like you can on the page. So they haven't got a monetization strategy for that, apart from, I think there's some ads go in there. So a group is far more engaging and way better to use than a page.
Okay, so would you recommend you creating the group in your personal name or in your business name, or some combination of both?
I do both. So I've got my personal name. The reason why you have it in your personal name is I'm almost up to 5,000 friends, which is the limit. So we'll start transitioning it and people over to a personal, to a page, which is in my personal name. So we get that same sort of engagement, but we can extend it out to more than 5,000. But then you also want a group that is in your, so page could be in your personal name, but your group is going to be in, for something like you, around, photography or videography, that sort of thing there.
Okay, well, interesting. Thank you, Julia and Nick.
Thanks for that, Nick. That's cool. Yeah, that's fascinating. And I didn't really know that difference. I knew it was good. I'm doing it, but didn't know why. There you go. Awesome. All right. Does anyone have any questions for me around those? Oh, the AI, I'm happy to share a link with you. Nick, what's the best way for me to share a link? I've got a link for the AI that you can, there's actually a training video on there. And if you choose to do it, it's $97 a month. There's no lock-in contracts. And I do it through my marketing coach because she has created a page that helps you set everything up. So there's, I can't even know how many, there might be 20 or 30 different really short videos that helps you to set everything up in the back end. And that's why I purchased it through her. But yeah, I'm more than happy to share that link with you, and you guys can go and have a look at that if it's something you're interested in.
You can drop the link into chat if you like, Julie, and then when people save it at the end, they've got the link.
Yeah, that sounds really easy, but I have to go find it first. I wasn't that organized. Let me get back to you. If I can think about where it is really quickly, I will.
I do have the link, but I don't have it through your coach there. So if you've got another one, then we can grab that later on.
Yeah, let me find it for you. Because I think you can get it in other ways. I just got it through her, obviously, because she does all the training for it, and it just makes it very easy. All right, so for all of you who do not like cold calling, I'm going to give you my secret little script, and whether you choose to use it or not is entirely up to you. So this is a script that my coach gave to me. And look, I guess one of the things that I really had to lean into is I made a decision when I started cold calling in my business that I wanted to think about which of my personal values was strengthened by cold calling, because I was really nervous. And like I said to you, I was really nervous about selling myself. So I decided that of my personal values, my value of adventure was absolutely strengthened by doing more cold calling, because for me, it was a bit adventurous, right? It was a bit of, I'm out of my comfort zone. This is awkward. What are they going to say? Are they going to say no? Are they going to say yes? Am I going to get my words out? Am I going to trip over them? What on earth is going to happen? So it's a question I think that you should all ask yourselves is, if you're going to do some cold calling, which one of your personal values is strengthened by doing something that's a little bit out of your comfort zone? All right, so here is the template. So let's go. Hi, whoever you are. Have I caught you at a good time? So this is always an interesting question to ask, because I figure if it's not a good time, why have they picked up the phone? But it's always a good question to ask. I like to introduce myself. So I'll say, hi, my name is Julia and I'm a sales coach. Now, often when I say sales coach, I get people going, quick, hang up the phone. So sometimes I change that and I say, I'm the director at Inside Edge. So I like to say something nice about the business because, of course, before I've picked up the phone, I've done a bit of research on the business and I have figured out if they're the right client for me. So I have a search criteria that I go through. So just like I was showing you with the lead generation, I will go through and tick all of my boxes before I even pick up the phone to them. So I might say something nice, along the lines of, I love what you're doing on social media, or I can see that you're really driven by your purpose in your business, whatever it might be. So from there, I like to share a recent result. And this is something that we're starting to do in our direct messages as well, is really quickly sharing that recent result. So I'm in sales, and for me, it's always around dollars. So I might say something like, I've just recently helped a client to increase their sales by 30%, and they did that over a 2-month period. So if you're not in the sales space, it might be something different. It might be a result of, if you're a life coach, I recently helped a client to reduce her stress levels to the point that she's now able to get a full 8 hours of sleep. Or if you are selling skincare products, it might be, I have recently helped one of my team members to earn XYZ selling our beautiful skincare products. Or if it's a direct sale, it might be, we've recently worked with a client who has improved her skin condition from here to here. So that recent result is just something that you can share, where you can share a recent result that's going to resonate with the person that who's just picked up the phone. And I'll give you a full written out script of this in a minute. So once I ask them, once I give my results, I ask them a question. I say, are those sort of results something that would interest you in your business? And there, of course, you're going to get a really quick yes or no. And the truth is, certainly I have found anyway, there are not too many people who have just said to me, no, I'm not interested, and hung up the phone. Certainly not like we do with our international energy saving people. Often, we want to hang up the phone. I have honestly found that not many people will hang up the phone. Even if it's a flat out no from them, they're really, really genuine and nice. And they'll say to me, hey, listen, really appreciate your call, but it's not something I'm interested in right now. And for me, that's awesome, right? Because now I'm starting to collect my objections. So I might say to them, no worries, thanks for being honest with me. Can you tell me why? What is it that, have you already got a coach, or what's going on? So what I start to do is collect objections. So I've already got a coach. I don't have a time, I can't do the time commitment right now, or whatever the reasons might be that people say no. Now I'm starting to collect my bank of objections. So if they say yes, that sounds really interesting, what I might say is, hey, listen, would you be interested in just a 20-minute catch up, and I can show you how we achieve these results. And then we make sure that we book that appointment on the day. So of course, when I call people, I'm not trying to sell to them in this cold call. All I'm trying to do is get a meeting with them. So I just want to get that next appointment on the calendar. So you can see here, this is my full written out script. So hi, Joanne, my name is Julia. How are you today? And have I caught you at a good time? I'm the director at Sales Inside Edge. Your business caught my eye, and I love the way you do whatever. I've recently worked with a client in a similar field to you who was able to grow her monthly income from $75,000 to $100,000 a month by implementing just a few of the strategies that I teach. And I'm wondering if you'd be interested in meeting with me just for 20 minutes so I can explain how I helped her to do that. And then they say, yes, I would love to. Amazing. So then we make sure that we book in that appointment, right? So we're booking it when, what works best for you, the front end or the back end of the business. And I also make sure that I get their email address so I can send them, if it's going to be a Zoom meeting, that I send them an invitation. If they're in Queensland, sometimes I will try and meet with people just because I love face-to-face, and it feels really nice for me. How does that feel? Does that feel salesy? Does it feel awkward? Ray, is that a yes? It feels salesy? Yeah, so look, oh, good. I'm glad you like that, friend. So look, the truth is, until you start doing this, and this is my language, right? So you need to start to tweak this to your language and make it feel comfortable for you. But this is how we get clients and we get sales quickly. I'm not spending hours texting people backward and forth. I'm not spending hours posting on social media. I'm not spending hours trying to collect people into my Facebook group and then convert them from here to here and send messages out here, here and there. I'm being really direct. I'm being honest. I'm to the point. And if they want to work with me, they do. Great. Let's have a chat. If they don't, because they've got other things going on in their life, absolutely fine. We need to move on to the next person. So yes, it might feel a little bit awkward and uncomfortable the first few times you do it, but I can absolutely 100% promise you, if you start to create a habit out of making these calls and you make them regularly, you'll start to feel more comfortable and you will start to see those results. Tonality is important. Yes, we have to smile on the phone, Jeff. Absolutely, because you can hear when I'm speaking like this versus when I'm speaking like this, right? It's very different. I 100% agree with you. Awesome. So I thought I'd share this with you. This is one of my beautiful clients who is she's an e-com store. And she was in an interesting position. So this is one of the things that I work on with businesses is sourcing, inspiring and engaging their clients. So we use a number of strategies. So cold calling is definitely one of the strategies that we use. Now she's e-commerce, right? So she doesn't directly call to consumers, but I helped her to set up her business so that she can start selling to wholesale. So now she uses this strategy to wholesale, to sell, to cold call to wholesale suppliers. So one of the things we had to get really clear on was their purpose. Just like I shared with you in the beginning, selling from your place of purpose has a really plays a really important role in people's decision making, because when you present me with just the facts, so just like I did on that cold call, you're presenting me with the facts, people can't make a decision about whether they like you or not. They need an emotional connection. So our purpose, our why, allows people to make an emotional connection with us. And that's the part of our brain called the limbic brain that has no capacity for language. It's only emotion. And that's the part of our brain that makes decisions. I'm just checking on my time. So yeah, we want to make sure that we're very first getting super clear on our why, inspiring them. So we talked a little bit about this before, which is really our customer experience. So it's creating packages, deals and promotions and creating that exceptional customer experience for people. And then what we also want to do is make sure that we're engaging people. So we're making it easy for our customers to stay with us long term, and we're creating those loyal buyers, if you like, so that we're not having to constantly source for new people. So her results were that she had increased loyal buyers and unique buyers. They smashed their sales targets, which were awesome. But they also created a team of people who were really on purpose. So they were clear about what their purpose was and why they were turning up to work, which plays a really important role. I thought I'd share this testimonial with you. Not that I love boasting about what I do, but I do love this. And I think one of the pieces that I really loved is that she said is that she really learned how to change her mindset for projects that she was putting off. And this is a big piece of the neuroscience, is that if you know you've got to make your calls, I guarantee you, if it's something that you don't want to do, you're going to keep putting it off. And that's why coaching is so great, because we get to help you to really break it down, understand your mindset, and then hold you accountable to getting that done. So I thought I'd share with you quickly, if anyone wants to come and hang out anymore with me, I do run a half-day workshop, which is called Sales Made Easy, where we look at selling with purpose, we look at your customer experience, and we look at your belief zone. So one of my favorite things is making sure that you believe in how much you really want to earn. You put that dirty big figure on paper, and I teach you how and why you need to believe in it to actually achieve it. So that's going to be Tuesday the 28th. It's 9 till 12. It is online. The tickets are $149 for that. But if you guys want to come along to that, I can absolutely arrange a free ticket for you. We have a special link with a free ticket. So you guys can come along to that if you would like to. And of course, my freebie for all of you tonight is your 10 ways to double your sales. So if you are interested in that one, I don't know, Nick, what's the best way I need to email it, unfortunately, because it's a really big file.
You don't have it as a link where they can download it, or
not that clever yet.
That's all right. What we can do tomorrow is we've got an email that goes out after the event, and we can include either that or a link to it in the email, but we can talk about it after this so we can get it out.
Beautiful. Easy. All right. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah. Following on from my last question, as I've been thinking about it. So since I'm a member of 45 million other groups, I'm an admin on a couple. I've created one group which is family related. So to create a group, not the technical side of it, to create a group focused around the business for what you're just talking about. If I got an invite to someone's group and I went and had a look at it and there was only the owner there, I wouldn't bother. So how do you get that start building up momentum? Do you create the group and start posting, even though there's no one in it except yourself, or just put the invites out and hope one or two of them come?
Yeah, really great question, Paul. And I guess that's where I was showing you. So the thing that we did is that I send an invitation. So I start inviting people on my personal page to be a friend. So once they become a friend with me, a friend of mine, then we go into the Facebook group and we send that invitation out to everyone. Now, you do in the beginning probably have to give people some really good reasons. And I like to start promoting that as well. So I use a strategy where, I celebrate every time I hit 100 members, I did a celebration. When I hit 200, 500, whatever, we do this big celebration. And we kind of talk to people. We talk to people in our personal profile about why they should come over to the group. So you might say to people, hey, look, I'm doing a training over here on 2-minute training, and here are some free tips. So if you want to join me, so if you go and have a look at my personal page, for example, you'll see that I did in my stories today was, hey, I'm covering in my Facebook group, I'm covering how to sell when you don't like selling. But you've got to, here's the link, you've got to come on over to the group. So the truth is, it takes a bit of effort to get people over there. But the first one is just purely inviting them. So just invite everyone over, and you might end up with, I don't know, half a dozen of your family and friends in there, which is all okay because it looks like numbers. And then once you've got a few numbers, it's just about continually working on building that.
Okay, thank you.
Michael, do I find that Facebook is more effective than LinkedIn? Michael, to be honest, had to choose a platform because I had too many things going on. So I chose Facebook. It's not to say that I won't use LinkedIn, and because I work in the business to business space, LinkedIn is incredibly valuable, and I have clients who have built amazing businesses from LinkedIn. I just liked, and it was, a strategy that my marketing coach taught me about was that idea of the Facebook group. So I chose to use Facebook, but I have heard people have similar success in LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll just chime in. Julia, that was one of the best presentations I've seen in a long time.
Oh, yes.
Really engaging, learned a lot, golden nuggets along the way, and I've been in the game for a while, so congrats, girl.
Oh, thank you. Made me want to cry.
Why did you get the bill, friend?
Very kind of you. Anyone else have any? Come on, what are your hard questions for me about sales and selling? What do you really want to know? How much should I be looking in the chat? I stopped the chat.
There is one. There's one here in the chat here from Cara. Did you get that one there about the best day to cold call? So have you found that there's an ideal day to cold call? For instance, perhaps it's Monday is not a great day as it's the start of the week. Many businesses, directors, managers are busy dealing with the start of the week and will feel irritated, overwhelmed if you interrupt their workflow. Whereas Friday, they are in coasting mode with the weekend fast approaching. Any data or suggestions as to the best day or time to cold call?
Yeah, really good question, Cara. And I have a couple of things that I believe there. Number one, I like cold calling on a Monday because I have this theory around eat the frog first. It's probably, when it comes to sales and selling, it is definitely one of the harder things that you do. So I like to do it first up in my calendar. Does it mean it's the best time to get people? Maybe not necessarily. So if you are happy and comfortable that if by the time you get to a Friday, you are going to commit to picking up the phone, because for me, by Friday, I'm done, I'm over the week, then by all means do it on a Friday. I personally haven't found, and I usually do my cold calling every morning. So I just block out 9 till 10 o'clock every morning. And again, I like to get it done first thing in the morning. So I personally haven't found a better day of the week, but that is a really good theory. You're probably right that, by the end of the week, business owners are a bit more chilled out and they're ready to take on the weekend. So they might have a bit more time to chat. At the same time, as I shared with you, that script, I don't really want to keep them on the phone for long. It's really about, it's short and sweet, and it's, you know, are you interested or are you not? And who said that? I researched the times of the day. Oh, someone's got an answer for you. Who's got that? I researched the times they are open and found the best time for the industry. The best times they're open, yeah, which is pretty much all day, right? Yeah, so to be honest with you, I don't have an answer to that, sorry, of when is the best time to call. I do it when it's the best time for me, when my head's in the right space. So something, I'll give you a little secret tip. We've got 1 minute to go. My secret tip when it comes to, this is a neuroscience tool, when it comes to your energy management, is understanding if you are a morning person or an afternoon person. If you are a morning person, you have got to do your calls in the morning, because it's when your high level brain is switched on and it's thinking. If you leave it to if you're a morning person and you leave it to the afternoon, I guarantee your head will come up with 50 million excuses for why you cannot do it now. So don't leave it until you're out of whack. Vice versa, if you're an afternoon person, don't do it in the morning. Make sure you do it in the afternoon. That's probably my only tips for you there.
Excellent. Well, if we have got no other questions, then I think we're sort of coming towards the end of the evening. So if you do have any questions at all for Julia, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can, as you saw then, you can jump into my personal profile on Facebook, which is Julia Zielke. You can send me a direct message in there and I'll tag you as a friend, or you can jump over into my Facebook group, which is the Selling Strategies for Ambitious Entrepreneurs. I am more than happy to, I'll just quickly type my email address in here.
And also someone was looking for how do they book into the webinar that is on the 28th of June?
Yeah, so the best way to do that is jump into the Facebook group, and on the event in there, you can click going. And I say do that because my virtual assistant will then send you the free link. So everyone who registers through my Facebook group will get the free link and you won't be charged the $149 for it. And
your Facebook group name is?
Selling Strategies for Ambitious Entrepreneurs.
All right.
Do you want me to write that down?
We'll grab the link.
Oh, that's a better idea.
Selling Strategies for Ambitious Entrepreneurs. Let me just grab the link and I'll throw that into chat as well too. There we go.
Cool. Ah. Yeah, so if you jump in there and just find the event, which is on the event page, and just click going, yeah, don't put interested, put going, and my virtual assistant will send you the free link for that. And I would love to see any of you there.
Excellent. So if you've got any more questions, want to follow up with Julia, then probably join her group, ask away there, or contact her with the email address. And we will organise some way of getting out that PDF tomorrow in our post email. So make sure that you open the email that we send you out tomorrow, because there is going to be a chunk of gold in there in the form of this PDF document.
I've had lots of good feedback already, which is pretty cool.
Excellent. So if you've liked this presentation, let's give Julia a big warm round of virtual applause.
Thank you.
Have a thumbs up. All right, and we do have a door prize for today too, don't we, Julia?
We do, yeah. So our lucky door prize today is a free 30-minute strategy session. So we will dig into the strategies that you're using at the moment, and I will see if there are some of the strategies that I use that might be able to help you get some quick wins.
Awesome. Anyone interested in that? Just pop your hand up if you're interested in that. Excellent. Oh, there's lots of hands going up. Excellent. All right. So we do have a way of drawing this. So remember we said at the beginning, if you need to be in the room to win it. So all of our names are in this wheel. So we'll spin the wheel and let's give us a virtual drum roll, please. And the lucky winner is Peter Beckenham. He's been away for a while. Are you still here, Peter, or do you drop out? He's in Thailand sometimes, so he does drop out. Where is he? Have a look through our peeps. I think he may have dropped out early there. Oh, well, someone let Peter know that he won while he was away. And
yeah, I could do that. I'm in direct contact, so I can tell him, let him know.
Good stuff. Thanks, Fred. All right. Unfortunately, he is not here, so we are going to redraw it. So it's some lucky person here is going to win it. And the lucky winner second time round is, looks like Ellen. There you go. I know that Ellen has got no sound there, so.
How about
So,
now?
Oh,
you have now. Wow, that's what you sound like. Excellent. All right, so that's awesome. So maybe Alan, if you, what we'll do is we will connect you and Julia up tomorrow by email. So if you just check your email, we'll connect you both there by email, and then you can organise the that consultation. So well done, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, and so once again, thank you, Julia, for such an awesome evening tonight. I'm just looking at some of the comments. Some of them came through to me privately too to say this is one of the best sessions they've had. So you've really outdone it today. So fantastic.
Thanks, everyone. That's really nice.
All right, so that is a wrap for Business Owners Smashing It Online this week. So I'm looking forward to some results that come out from this presentation and seeing some of you implement. And if you, again, if you've got any questions, drop them through to Julia. Join her Facebook group, which is in chat. Now is a good time to save the chat as well too. Actually, maybe just give it a couple of seconds, because if you missed part of this presentation, I know there's someone that actually missed coming through partway through, it will be up on the Smash Go YouTube channel tomorrow afternoon. If you want to watch it again and you just want to catch those gems again, again, you can wait for it to be uploaded onto YouTube. So the link for the YouTube channel is in chat right now. And if you go there and subscribe and then click the little bell that is beside the subscribe button, which you'll see after you have subscribed, then you'll get a notification as soon as it has been uploaded. But again, we'll also send out an email tomorrow with the link to the YouTube as well. And we'll organise that PDF, and really sort of interested in your feedback. So if you've got feedback about tonight and about these sessions, always happy for you to reply and shoot that through as well too. So once again, thanks, Julia, for coming on tonight. It's been an excellent night. Thanks, everyone else, for being here tonight as well, too, and look forward to seeing you all next week. Remember, next week is about the platform Bark. So if you haven't checked out the platform Bark, go and have a look at it. And we've got someone coming to talk about how they got booked out using that platform. It's pretty amazing, really. So looking forward to that. All right, go and have a sensational evening, and we'll see you all online and back next week.